gimana? Gua nggak bisa nempel gimana? Dah nggak bisa di-upgrade. Itu bisa Akma pakai siapa lagi cok? Kalau gua ngamen Jos, anjing lu. Gua ngamen. Apa nih? We are
Halo.
Seal. Malah di portal Sisil bangsat. Pas sudah menang masih nomor 9 babi. Ya udah dia mah udah di bawah terus. Bro, Sisil nggak diajakin main sama Mas Ade emang guys? Sisil nggak diajakin main sama Mas Ade? Muncul nggak? Beda share gua. Lebarin harus bertanya diajakin main sama Mas Ade. Nah, halo Sisil. Sisil nggak diajakin sama Mas Ade, masa main sendiri sih? Sisil udah sembuh belum?
Aku epic.
Kenapa epic sama? Aku juga epic, tapi
What
Mas
is up,
Ade
people? Donna
aku
here,
ganti
and today
AI
we're
buat
going to be taking a look at my personal process for color grading inside DaVinci Resolve. So grab your color grading
belajar.
beverage of choice, and let's get into this.
DaVinci Resolve.
So the other day over on my
Ano,
Instagram, where you should
explain
definitely be following me, I posted this photo, and a couple people with a keen eye noticed that I was
nonton
using
di
DaVinci
Duna
Resolve.
Didit.
This is something that I've been doing for a couple of months now. I've been doing all my YouTube videos from start to finish, editing, color
Starting the
grading,
process.
audio, everything, and I absolutely love it. Especially the 3. So the first thing that we're
First step is open your DaVinci Resolve. Ini aku baru install kemarin. Dirimu melodi. Ini aku udah bikin kemarin tetet. Salah. Harusnya tes. Kita. Tabar ya. Tabar. Aku matiin dulu, tabar. Dirimu melodi. Mana sih filenya? Si Ferdi. Cepi, video Cepi. Ada yang ketawa malam-malam. Bukan main. Nih, I see. Ini belum di grading. This is my first video. Ya udah, sini bener. Aku menahan rasa sakit. The selected clip have a different frame rate to the project. Would you like to change? Image. You can undo this action. Bentar. Ya sudah terpencet. Ya sudah. Nih displaynya begini. Aku baru. Let's see.
we're going to do is add a couple of nodes. So you can either add nodes by going right click, add node, corrector, and then you can connect it like this in slog3. So the first thing that we're going to do is add a couple of nodes.
Add node.
So you can either add nodes by
Terus nggak enakan. Ini teh keyboardnya aku wadahin jadi kagok. Wait. Dirimu melodi.
as far as color grading within the program itself. And thirdly, all these lights that I've got going on around me to film this video, I wouldn't normally have them on while I'm color grading. I would probably have a much darker room so that I can focus just on the colors of what's going on in the shot. Anyway, let's get into this. All right, so what we've got here is a finished shot of my wife. We were out for a walk the other day. She's just blocking the sun from hitting her face. And we've got the finished version, and then we've got a blank slate so I can show you how I got there. And just for fun, I'm not actually gonna reference that other one. I'm just gonna show you my process, so we'll see how close I actually get to the other version as I work through the process. So as you can probably tell, this is shot in S-Log3. So the first thing that we're gonna do is add a couple of nodes.
Dia nge-add. Tar. Apa dia
Close
langsung
I
harus
actually
gitu-nya?
get.
Atau kita drag drop dulu, drag drop, drop top. Semakin dekat kayak make up. Sampai habis cak. Edit. Bentar, aku bingung. Iya. Ngerti. Edit. Ini bukan. Ini bukan. Ya, ini bukan ya.
To the other version as I work through the process. So as you can probably tell, this is shot in S-Log3. So the first
Color. Ya kan, ini color kan.
as I work through the process. So as you can probably tell, this is shot in S-Log3. So the first thing that we're gonna do is add a couple of nodes. So you can either add nodes by going right click, add node, corrector, and then you can connect it.
Ini apa nih? Kok ini ada di sini? Add node, character, dan what?
Like this. Or you can just hit Option or Alt S.
Option or Alt S. Oh, good.
It'll automatically connect it all for you. We're actually going to hit 4 of these. And we're going to start by labeling them. The first one is going to be white balance.
Anjay, kenapa kamu kecil banget dah? Wait. No. Can I? Kecil banget lah.
And we're going to start by labeling.
Node label. Coba kita step-stepnya dia. White balance.
Them. The first one is going to be white balance. The second one is going to be called pre-log. The third one is going to be called log. And the fourth one is going to be called post log.
Post-log. Besok. Kok begitu Anda?
I'm going to explain. Going to be called pre-log. The third one is going to be called log. And the fourth one is going to be called
pre-log. Log. Astagfirullah. Post-log.
post log, and I'm going to explain all of that in a second. Now, these are what are called serial nodes. So what happens is that
Bentar, ini gemes banget, pengen garing dah. Oke, nah ini maksudku.
one feeds into the next one, feeds into the next one, feeds into the next one. So when you're starting with, let's say, this first one, if I make it all blue, you can see that it affects all of them. And then when I go into the prelog node, when I click on that one and I start adjusting it, I'm starting from the place that left off from that first node. So it's very much like layers would be in any other nonlinear editor, but it just looks a little bit different. So we're starting here, and then we're moving into that one, into this one, into that one. So if I start changing this one, it's only affecting the ones after it, and it's not affecting the white balance one. We reset all of these. Funny enough, the first thing that I do is go to the third one. There are two ways that I approach this. First of all, if I shot it specifically to use the Leeming LUTs, which is a specific LUT pack, and they have a specific way that you set up your shot, then I can go to my favorite LUTs, which I've put it in there, and I can choose Leeming LUT for S-Log3. And that has converted from S-Log3 to Rec. 709 in a specific way. Now, what I'm going to do for this one, because I didn't specifically shoot it with the Leeming LUT in mind, I'm actually going to go to Open Effects, I'm going to choose Color Space Transform, and drag it on there. And what this is going to
Let anjay Sony S-Log3. Oh, udah. Ini aku gak mau dah. Wait.
and that has converted from S-Log3 to Rec.
Oh, iya.
709 in a specific way. Now, what I'm going to do for this one, because I did
Anjay, berwarna. But we won't do that.
didn't specifically shoot it with the Leeming LUT in mind, I'm actually going to go to Open Effects, I'm going to choose Color Space Transform, and drag it on there. And what this is going to do is essentially transform it from that S-Log3 into Rec. 709, so it should make it look more like a normal image. So we're going to go Input Color Space, we're going to go down and choose S-Gamut 3.
Ay. Anjay, masih lama gini. Color apa tadi namanya? Kemana ada saya?
From that S-Log3 into Rec. 709, so it should make it look more like a normal image. So we're going to go into Leeming 9 in a specific way. Actually going to go to Open Effects.
Color space transform, drag and drop. Ininya pakai Sony, kamu 3 sini.
I'm going to choose Color Space Transform and drag it on there. And what this is going to do is essentially transform it from that S-Log3 into Rec. 709, so it should make it look more like a normal image. So we're going to go Input Color Space, we're going to go down and choose S-Gamut 3 Cine, and you can see how it changed the color ever so
Bro, come on. Ya, ada warnanya.
slightly on that. And then we're going to go to Input Gamma, and I'm going to go down and choose S-Log3. And then our output color space, currently the timeline is set to Rec. 709, so it's already doing it. But just in case, let's go down and choose Rec. 709 on both of these.
Oke, berarti kita menggunakan S-Log3. S-Log3. Anjay, gelap. Dipakai 709. Mana 709 nggak ada. 709. Sini pakai 709 juga.
So if we look at the before, of course, it looks like an S-Log3, and looking at the waveform, you can tell it's squished in.
Why do I don't have? Apa yang punya itu?
To the middle.
Oi. Oi. Di mana arti sama kesetiaan? Bila ini yang kau mau. kesekian kali. Ntar dia ada menu curves. Nggak ada, paling nggak ada. Ada yang tahu. Let's. I think I don't need this. Maybe yes. Ini. Scopes. Oh, waveform.
If we look at the after on that log node, it's stretched it out a little bit. Into the middle. If we look at the after on that log node, it's stretched it out a little bit. Now, we're very bright, and so this is why I have a pre-log node, because now I can have some changes going into that log node. And just so that it's said, that log node, pre-log, post-log, those are just names that I made up that help me remember what I'm doing. You can name them whatever you want. So remembering that all of the nodes are now in order because these are serial nodes, we're going to affect the pre-log, which is going to change anything going into that color space transform. So what we're going to do is make it darker at this point before the log. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for anything that's black. Now you can see her glove here should have some pretty dark parts on it, and I'm going to go to my lift and pull that down. You can see down in the waveforms here that this little chunk here, that's where her glove is, and if you really want, you can go to here and show extents, and then that's showing me a nice line where the bottom is. There's even one that's dipping a little bit further down, must be in her jacket here or something like that. So we're going to bring that down until we're very close to black here, and then we're just going to bring the gain up just a little bit to make the bright parts brighter. So we're just stretching it out a little bit further. And then I'm going to bring my gamma down. So basically I'm just trying to get it to kind of a neutral place where it looks kind of...
Sininya bener banget nih. Jebret gitu. Apakah ngaruh dah? Nah kan, kataku juga apa? Di mana arti sebuah kesetiaan? Kalau ini Aing tuh harus menuju titik mana kalau gini? 0 aja gitu. Kesekian kali memang ku cinta.
Standard, almost like we didn't use a picture profile at all. Now, working backwards one more time, I'm going to go back to my white balance. Down here there's a little color picker. I'm going to choose something that's white, so the snow happens to be quite handy for this as long as it's not blown out. There we go, so it made...
Just drop it to something white.
A slight color adjustment. So these first three are basically just getting us from this, our slog3 image, to kind of a neutral looking image. Now we're going to use our post log, and this is where we're going to do...
Apa kuning banget dah. Kenapa kuning banget ya?
Do kind of our more creative grade. So I'm going to decide, do I want more saturation? Do I want more contrast? Or basically just, so Down here there's a little color picker. I'm going to choose something that's white. So the snow happens to be quite handy for this as long as it's not blown out.
Terus.
There we go. So I made a slight color adjustment. So these first three are basically just getting us from this, our S-Log3 image, to kind of a new...
Preview ini gimana dah? Ini previewnya gimana anjing? Dia previewnya gimana anjing? Pengen liat before afternya gitu loh. Tracker, blur, key, sizing, 3D, expander. Ini deh, HDR. Yeah, better lah.
Neutral looking image. Now we're going to use our post 3 image to kind of a neutral looking image. Now we're going to use our post log, and this is where we're going to do kind of our more creative grade. So I'm going to decide, do I want more saturation? Do I want more contrast? Those kinds of things. And the place that I like to start with this is in my curves. So I'm going to add just a slight curve, pull it down in the shadows, and just push it back in kind of my mid-tones and highlights. So just a slight contrast curve here.
Kan tinggal klik-klik doang ya? Ya lo dah. Dia tinggal klik-klik doang, itu before afternya.
And that's looking pretty good. I might just add some saturation. Just a little bit of color, going for something nice and vibrant and bright here. And then if we wanted to get even more creative in this specific node, we could start to add some color contrast. So for example, I could go into my lift and I could push this down into kind of a more bluey, tealy thing. And then I could push my gamma up into more of a red, orange kind of thing. And so now we've added a little bit of color contrast. Now, alternatively, what you could do if you didn't want to mix those together in the same node, you could actually reset those and do another node, color contrast, or something like that, and then do that same thing after the same node if you really want. And we've got another way that I log. So now we've got kind of our creative color grade on that. And that looks pretty good. We could call it done there if we really wanted to, but we're gonna take it another step further with a different way to do color contrast. I'm gonna make a new node and I'm going to take my offset, which is the entire image, and I'm gonna pump a little bit of kind of teal into it. And then I'm gonna lower the gamma, which is gonna make it a little bit darker. If you wanna know about lift, gamma, and gain, I have a whole nother video about that, so you can check that out. And then I'm gonna right click on this. I'm gonna click add node and choose layer. Now what this has done, as you can see, it took away what was happening in that node. It's feeding from the post log node into both of these and then back into something called a layer mixer. Now the one on the bottom is overriding anything that happens on the top. So what we're gonna do with this bottom one is just make a selection with the qualifier, make sure we're selected on this tool here, and then select her skin. And if we hit Shift H, we can see better what we're selecting. And then just make a selection. I'm gonna hit denoise a little bit and blur radius to soften it out. You can hit this top for this. Do now is highlight that opacity. So I could light skin this way. It's sometime now. So the way that we're gonna do that actually, then like that. The dog product. So the got so going from the point of Rec 709 to our finished product, I think we got a pretty solid grade there. Let's see how a little more stylized maybe. Test cleared up a little question. Hit that like button and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss out on future tutorials and reviews. Thank you so much.
Clip gitu nih.
Nggak lu, PC. Gak ada lah yang mau daget. Ngentot. Jadi Gimas, gua kan udah lama kerja jenjang karir, oke, mending gua makan Indomie goreng apa kuah? Apa hubungannya Indomie goreng sama kuah? Bian, tolong. Mas kasih tahu ke Pidong, dia udah kuliah semester 8 masih suka dimandiin sama mamanya sampai main bebek. Si Pidong kenapa Pidong? Gering loh. Kontol, masih ada aja media set. Percayalah, aku pernah merayumu berulang kali, tapi tetap rasa layuku dipatahkan oleh kesadaran yang membuatku sadar diri Rame. Kontol lu. Aku bocil by the way. Bocil by the way kan sama aja sejenis, anjing lu. Apa? Sama, coba ya, bocil perek sama deanimate. Coba. Sensus penduduk. Test by one. Lu. Dem.
Nice banget ya.
Winda idol. Bocil, perek, bocil, satu lagi apa? Ya, nge-lag bro. Bocil, satu lagi apa? Deanimate. Malam duta, halo Kamel.
Denoise.
Entol nama lu. Lu lagi sama lagi di panjing lu.
Color palette.
Deanimate. Coba mana bro? Mas bilangin si Bara suka sama Bigfoot anjing di sekolah. Si Bara suka sama Bigfoot. Bigfoot apa Bigfoot? Bigfoot apa bro? DC Mada. Kenapa lagi DC Mada? Kontil. Mas, gua punya teman namanya Yukita Ngeus. Bro. Yang mah perek. Guys, nama perek gimana sih? Guys, kalian tahu nggak guys? Gue lihat video TikTok ya, kakak-kakak berdua pakai baju high dog cewek. Masa disebutnya? Mas minta saran mas, cewek aku gamon, gimana menanggapinya? Kalian tuh kenapa sih gagal gamon mulu? Ya coba tanya ke diri sendiri, lu belajar coli dari mana? Kalau gua, ini serius. Gue taunya setelah sama nonput, bro. Oh, gue taunya setelah sama nonput. Anjing, Marcel. Belajar tukang urut, bangsat. Belajar awalnya dipegang doang, dielus-elus, akhirnya dikocok. Kok enak ya, ketagihan deh sampai tiap hari. Dipegang-pegang doang, karena pengen gedein gitu ya. Dielus-elus enak juga. Blok. Gak belajar sih mas, cuman dulu gak sengaja mainin player keenakan malah cerit. Blok. Ada aja orang ya, emang anjing.
Blur nih gimana directional blur.
Wah. Terima kasih karena telah menjadi orang yang pernah menempati posisi 2 setelah ortu gua set-set terus dengan pilihan lu yang sekarang. Terima kasih sudah ada. Wow. Meledak. Apa Jafar? Duca DC apa ngentot? Mau main nggak? Kita mau pindah channel nih.
Iya keren ya.
Lah serius memek kok bisa ada 2? Kenapa harus 1? Lu aja 4. Lu 4 dari mana? Anjing lu. 4 dari mana bangsat? Nggak ada 4, tolol. Apa? Buka undefend. Kenapa? Mas tadi kan begini terus begitu. Menurut lu gimana? Cari begini begitu apa bangsat? Apa? Lu kepake kutang, bro. Astagfirullah, eta naon ditololkeun putih. Gua coy sama nonton bokep didoktrin sama Dimas ngentot. Oh, gua bucet ego. Apalagi DC, Duca, DC. Pindah channel dulu ah. Pindah channel dulu. Gak mau di channel ini. Nanti replaynya hilang, nggak ada lagi deh replaynya. Kalian ribut lagi. Cara nikahin Ariel Tatum gimana? Minta saran lu. Punya akal sehat, Rayhan ya, anjing. DC nggak usah main. Gue belajar coli karena awalnya titit aing nggak tegatal, terus gosok-gosok enak gitu. Lalu ngecerot, astagfirullah. Ke gue nanya, kan belajar coli awal di mana gitu. Gua waktu nikah sama lu. Lah iya kocak. Ya kan pemanasan kan, makanya tahu gitu ternyata pas sama lu. Gitu. Bocil. Bohong apa? Bukan sama, kan sama lu pertama kan nikah pertama sama lu kan orang gue pertama sama lu real. Gue masuk masa gitu-gitu Mas kok dispesialkan banget sih cuma bocin. Ya gue nggak mau sunsar sensor blok. Apa? Seduction of Beauty jadi masukin list. Masukin. Kalau emang nggak ada bokepnya ya, tahu-tahu tiba ada adegan ini cok. Masukin ke itu. Iya ada game beb yang cewek. Gas kencur mas 10 juta. Palu 10 juta. Toh. Dah. Apa sih? Udah mau pindah channel dulu ini, sabar. Gue tarik di DC lo, beneran lo? Beneran tarik di DC lo? Kamu gue defend ah. Diam.
Lens flare.
Apa sih? Apa lagi? Kenapa? Putih. Apa sih orang ini real? Ini kan background gua. Mas ya lu bukannya udah dijual itu yang di bawah Balenciaga kok masih ada nimbun? Iya dong, background gua ini.
Ini maksudnya kayak lagi.
Mas pemain NBA Lamel.
Pengen gitu-gitu.
Gue juga pengen gitu-gitu. Lu pengen gitu-gitu juga kan? Gue juga pengen gitu-gitu. Mau gantian? Sebanyak apapun bocil yang menang tetap bocil non. Kelas, iya dong bocil non pun tetap di hati bro. Lah emang guys sekalian tuh ya guys. Gue kemarin hampir batal sih. Astagfirullahaladzim. Kalau diinget-inget. Mas gue mau confess gue lagi nonton Pekop sambil nonton stream lu biar suara videonya ketutupan.
Goblog.
Dah. Bocil koci.
Assalamualaikum.
Coach Justin sama bocil.